We've got everything back from painting, our timber and our steel. Our underbody components, chassis and drivetrain, was done in a satin finish. Our external panels were done in a gloss. You can see now that the preparation, the effort that you put into it has really paid off because it's looking very good. So, we're on the home straight. We just need to do a little bit of preparation work prior to assembly. First thing we need to do is remove our bolts. You can see here that the thread is really clean, so when we go to reassemble this, it'll go in really smoothly. We also need to take off any masking tape that was protecting our threads. If you forgot to mask up, then we can use a tap or a die with some thread paste to clean those threads up. Next, we need to install a new set of steering bushes, part number 37. First of all, we're running a 16mm drill through our steering pivot point to clean out any spray painting or powder coating. Then we can install our new set using a G-clamp. Now's a good time to put our decals on. We've got a dash and also our temperature gauge to do. After we've marked the middle of the dash, we can then peel off our backing tape carefully in an angle. Make sure it's facing the right way so you don't put your decals on or instruments upside down. Center. Using the squeegee, start from the center, the soft side, start from the center, work your way out to get rid of the air bubbles. Unpick your transfer tape and then carefully at an angle and quite flat pull it off. Hopefully it won't pick up on the edge and lift. And there we go. We're up to the radiator shroud and the grille. We need to insert the grille into the radiator shroud, slight angle and a twist. Then when we've got those two together, we'll turn it upside down. Using some black SikaFlex, we'll put a bead around the perimeter, bit of weight on the inside and let it cure overnight. We've got even overhang so that we have enough overhang from the grille to the radiator shroud. A little bit of weight applied and then cut the point at an angle, nice and narrow, and just apply a little bit of pressure to the tube until it starts to flow out. After I put this bead in, I'm going to run my finger around it. We've bonded this into place now, so just let it set overnight in position and don't move it. Our last step prior to final assembly is the steering wheel. To do that, we'll need to glue, screw, filler, sand and varnish. Beginning in the process of assembly of our steering wheel, the outer rim gets turned upside down. We then apply a liberal layer of glue on the flat face. We orientate number one with the rim, both the steel inner and outer. We then apply a little bit more glue, place this in position and just start setting our screws. Initially putting the first screw in at approximately the 5 o'clock position, we just put an initial torque on it, don't tighten it up, then we'll do the opposite and we'll come over here, do this one, so we'll start spreading the load around. Don't over tighten it, otherwise it'll crack our joins. Just going around now and putting our final torque on all these. Again, not too tight. Okay, that's it. So you can see here we've got some glue squeezing out of the joint. We'd probably also Have a little bit coming around the outside edge as well. So we'll just tidy up some of that. And we'll allow this to dry overnight. I've masked up the steering wheel front and back because the next step is sanding and I don't want to scratch any of the paintwork. We're going to sand to get these edges aligned, also any end grain that's sitting up. We'll be putting a little bit of filler in the imperfection areas, and on the back we're going to leave the screws exposed because it's period correct. Once this is sanded smooth, we can begin the process of varnishing. We'll be using a spray-on varnish, allowing it to cure overnight. A very light sand between coats of varnish, probably 5 or 6 coats, so it may take a week to completely finish it. However, because this is such a centerpiece, take your time and don't rush it. That's our steering wheel done. It actually took 10 coats. You can see it's come up really well. There's a couple of things that we need to prepare before assembly. Our magnetic strip on the bottom face of the bonnet that will then magnetise to the side panel. Or you could use Velcro hook and loop. Small section at the front and the rear with the corresponding piece on the side panel. We've cut some rubber mat just to protect our floor, or you could use carpet. Well done. Everything's now ready for assembly. We'll be putting it together the same way that we've manufactured all our parts and components. So take your time, don't rush. There may be times where you could perhaps use a hand just to make sure that you don't scratch any of the pieces. So enjoy the process and watch it come together. That's the assembly done. Just a little bit of sign writing and we'll be finished. thanks to Roger from Retroline, who's done some magnificent signwriting, this is exactly how the original truck would have been done. So now you can take a step back and have a good look at your work. Congratulations, you've come to the end of the project. It's time to crack open a cold one and marvel at what you've created. Whether this was a school project for education or something for the grandkids, well done. We hope that the skills that you've learnt are transferable to your next project, whatever that may be. To further the pedal car build, you can download plans for a trailer. That way you can haul all the grandkids at once. Finally, we'd love to see all the finished pedal cars. If you've got photos, please email them to pedalcar@machineryhouse.com.au. I'm Vaughan Ryan from Motor Retro Australia. I hope you've enjoyed the Flatbed Felix pedal car build.
Rusting steel and broken dreams in the garage under the beams, sweat and grease and busted knuckles. Flatbed Felix gonna break the shuffles. Scrap parts from the junkyard pile, twist and turn and drive me wild. Wheels spin and the gears grind. Felix pedal power, free your mind.